The Second Sino-Japanese War, 1937–1945, was a major conflict between the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan, and it later became a crucial part of World War II.
Background. Long-standing tensions. The conflict was rooted in Japan's imperial ambitions to dominate East Asia and China's efforts to resist foreign influence. Early conflicts. Tensions had been brewing since the 1920s, but Japan's invasion of Manchuria in 1931, establishing the puppet state of Manchukuo, marked the beginning of Japanese territorial expansion.
Outbreak of war. Marco Polo Bridge Incident, July 7, 1937. This skirmish between Chinese and Japanese troops near Beijing escalated into a full-scale war. It marked the official start of the Second Sino-Japanese War. Japanese advances. Japan quickly occupied much of northern and coastal China, including key cities like Shanghai, Nanjing, leading to the infamous Nanjing Massacre, and Beijing.
Key phases. Early Japanese successes, 1937 to 1940, Japan captured many of China's major cities and industrial regions. The Chinese capital moved from Nanjing to Chongqing. The war became a brutal battle of attrition, with Japan controlling cities and railways, but struggling to pacify rural areas. Chinese resistance. Nationalists and communists, despite their internal rivalry, the nationalist forces led by Chiang Kai-shek and the communists led by Mao Zedong both fought against Japan. Guerrilla warfare. Mao's communist forces utilized guerrilla tactics, particularly in northern China, which tied down Japanese troops. Foreign aid. China received some aid from the Soviet Union, but Japan's control of the coast limited international support.
Japan's stalemate and occupation. By the early 1940s, Japan was unable to fully conquer China or force a surrender. The Chinese maintained their resistance, and the front lines became stagnant. World War II integration. Pearl Harbor. In December 1941, Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor brought the U.S. into World War II, transforming the Sino-Japanese conflict into a broader global war. Allied support. After 1941, China became an important ally of the U.S. and Britain. The U.S. provided significant financial and military aid to the nationalist forces. Japanese overextension. With Japan fighting on multiple fronts in the Pacific, its resources were stretched thin.
Key events. Nanjing Massacre, 1937. Japanese troops committed widespread atrocities, including mass murder and rape, after capturing Nanjing. It's one of the most notorious war crimes of the conflict. Bombing of Chongqing. The Japanese Air Force carried out repeated bombings of the Chinese provisional capital, causing massive civilian casualties. Battle of Wuhan, 1938. A major Japanese offensive in central China, resulting in a hard-fought victory for Japan, but at a high cost.
Ichigo Offensive, 1944. Japan's largest military campaign in China aimed to secure control of southern China and link its forces from Manchuria to Southeast Asia. It initially succeeded, but overstretched Japanese forces.
End of the war. Japan's defeat, the war effectively ended with Japan's surrender in August 1945, following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Soviet Union's invasion of Manchuria. Impact on China. The war devastated China with millions of civilian and military casualties. It also weakened the nationalist government and helped the Communist Party gain strength, leading to the Chinese Civil War and the eventual establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949.
Legacy. Human cost. It's estimated that the war caused the deaths of around 10 to 25 million Chinese people, mostly civilians. Post-war tensions. The Second Sino-Japanese War left deep scars between China and Japan, and unresolved issues like war crimes and Japan's wartime atrocities continue to affect relations between the two countries. This war was a significant chapter in both Chinese and Japanese history, shaping the geopolitical landscape of East Asia in the 20th century. Thank you for watching the video, The Second Sino-Japanese War, provided by History and Current Events. This is Sarah, Lily, Gina, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.